Hey everyone, so here I am, and this is going to be the back piece that the L wire goes through. The holes are made to thread the L wire through, and this is just my Xtool M1 10 watt cutting this out. I do have to go over do about 3 passes for 3mm plywood, and even though I do have air assist, I tend to not use it as much because the hose gets caught up and it gets bent, and I'm just not a huge fan of the air assist with this laser. So I do like masking my wood. It prevents it from having burn marks and everything, and here we are. So we just go ahead and pop that out. And sometimes it gets stuck or doesn't cut all the way through in some spots, but it seemed to cut through pretty good here. And that's our back piece. So now I'm just going to clean everything out, and I'm going to clean the lens of my laser. It helps it cut better. And don't mind that, all that trash, previous projects. So I just get a Q-tip and some alcohol, some rubbing alcohol, and I just dip the Q-tip, and I don't flip my laser every time I want to clean it, so I just go ahead and wipe the lens and then take a dry Q-tip and clean it off a little bit more, dry it off. And here's the second piece of wood. This is going to be our top piece. And again, I'm not using the air assist. I just masked the wood. It's 3mm plywood. This is my first neon sign, so I am using 2 different types of plywood. I am going to use 3mm acrylic for my future neon signs, but this is my practice piece or practice sign, and I just wanted to see how it would turn out, and it turned out pretty well. I will be adding another back piece to hide the L wire, and then you can also make a stand for this, which I will be for my next sign. I will have a tutorial of that as well. And now it's going to take us here. So the only bad part about having masking tape on is that you are going to spend a little bit of time taking that off, and it does kind of suck. So, but that's our back piece, and then we have our top piece. And now we are going to remove the masking tape. And for this, you are going to want to pop out the middle of the top piece and set that aside. We are just going to be using the outline of the name. Whoops. Pesky marker. Just rolled right in there. And you can use anything. You can use pointed tweezers to get this masking off, some stronger tape to get the masking off. I like to use my fingernails or a weeding tool. Sometimes I do use a razor to help peel it off, just depending on how intricate the cuts are, how small the pieces are. But again, it's just use whatever tools you like. Again, my fingernails are pretty much my favorite tool in with some projects. And here we are, and just get that tape off the back piece. And you can see that there are two different types of wood, but we're going to be painting this, and I'm going to paint it black. And I got these little placemats. They're cutting sheets at Dollar Tree. And I just think that they're just perfect for painting because you can wipe it off easily. And I like the Waverly chalk paint. And this is ink. I just love the black, the ink color. I just love how the black comes out with this paint. And then just a regular paintbrush, or you can get a foam brush and use that as well. A lot of people use spray paint, but I'm just not a big fan of spray paint. I mean, maybe for some projects, but just not for this. So, and I do like to use my nitrile gloves. It helps me I don't have to wash my hands every time that I am painting or doing a different project, so I don't get paint everywhere. I can just take those off and throw them away. Ta-da! And here we go. We're just gonna start painting. You know, I'm not a avid painter or anything, but I just dip my brush and just go with it, you know, just I make sure that there's not any globs on there, and just make sure that the holes aren't filled in with paint, which it'll be easily removed if it is. And like I said, those little mats I got from Dollar Tree for $1. It came in a pack of 2, and it is just easy to clean those off with some soap and water. Just paint, 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 paint. And now we're painting the top piece. We're painting the top piece. Oh, yes, we are. We are painting the top piece. Yes, we are. So we're almost done. And I like to use my heat gun to dry the paint a little bit faster. You don't have to do this. You can just let it dry on its own. But here in a second, I will be grabbing my paint or my heat gun to just get this process moving right along. I'm not a patient person to wait when I am doing my projects, so I like to have everything dried and done right now so that I can see the end result. I like to see the end result. So, and just keep in mind that if you are using a heat gun, that if you keep the heat gun on one area too long, the paint can start to bubble up. So just do it in sweeping motions across your project or item to dry the paint. I use this also when I'm making keychains with my acrylic blanks. And like I said, it just helps the process move along faster. So yeah, but you can see the sweeping motions. Don't put it in one spot for too long. And I am going to be doing a second coat as well. That top piece is a different grain of wood, so The grain on it is a little bit deeper and isn't as much as a smooth surface just for one coat of paint. So you can see the beginning color of it a little bit, and that's why I'm just going to add a second coat of paint on there. And then again, use my heat gun to dry it up, and then we're going to be using some super glue and some clamps to get this all put together before we start threading our L wire through. And for this, I do like, oh, there's a clean little placemat. It's a cutting mat, but placemat, cutting mat, whatever. So I do like using the Gorilla Super Glue. I also like Loctite. Those are my two favorites. And then I just got these little clamps also from Dollar Tree. The big ones, 2 come in a pack, and the small ones, I think it's 5 or 6 come in a pack for, well, $1.25 tree. So, you know, but they're not too expensive and works well. I like going to Dollar Tree for a lot of my craft items. And we are just going to oops, I forgot some masking tape on the back of that. So I'll take that off and flip this over. I'm not worried about painting the back of this because it's going to be glued to that back piece, so I'm not too worried about that. And again, I just am letting you know that I am going to be making a back cover for this. Also something to put the light switch on, and to hide the back of this sign so you can't see the L wire that's going through the back as well. And when I was doing this also, when I was designing the cutouts for this, it helped me to draw a picture and see, or draw the name on a piece of paper and then see where I wanted my holes at. I kind of, you know, used some lines just to see where the wire was going to go in, where it was going to come out. And with this being my first sign and everything, I did need to hand drill 2 more holes into this, and it worked out perfectly. Now I know, you know, that I will need more holes for future signs, but, you know, I think this turned out fairly well for my first neon sign, and I can't wait to make more. So, and also I would make the holes a little bit smaller, and just so the L wire did fit through there a little bit more snug. But here I'm just letting the super glue dry, and it dries fairly quickly. And then I got these pliers just in case I needed to be able to pull the L wire through. And so here is the L wire, and the switch that plugs in right there. And the L wire is so easy to use. Once you get it threaded through, if you're not going to use the rest, you can just cut off the tip of it and it still works. So if you are not into electrical whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what to call it, but usually if you cut the cord, it doesn't work, but this still works. So I can't give you a rundown of why it still works, but it does. So I watched a couple of tutorials on it, and I honestly forgot what they even said. So all I remembered is they said that yes, you can cut it and it'll still work. So that's fine by me. That's all I need to know. Thanks. And this just takes 2 AA batteries. And this pesky wire. It does get tangled pretty easily, and just know that once you put the wire through and you have it going around those curves and everything, if you leave it overnight, I use the clamps as kind of like my third, fourth, fifth pair of hands to keep the L wire in place. Some people use, what I've seen on the tutorials that I've watched, that they use super glue to keep the L wire in place, but I use the clamps to hold it in place, and then I will let it sit overnight, and the L wire will keep its shape. I also am going to, well, like I said, this is my first L wire sign, so I will be, on my next sign, there will be another back piece to hide the wire, and then the front piece is going to be clear acrylic to keep that safe and protected, the front of the sign, and obviously you'd still be able to see it. So you just thread it through the holes, and some of it was hit or miss for me. I had to pull it back out and try again, but it was definitely a fun project and a learning experience, but I myself have not been able to find a lot of tutorials with the L wire and using, a laser. A lot of people use a drill to drill the holes and everything, but I just wanted to make this tutorial because, again, I'm a beginner on this as well, and if I could do it, I feel like anybody can do it. So it was fairly easy, and just get your holes lined up. If you do need a tutorial on how I made the back and the top piece, I can upload that as well. And this is my first YouTube tutorial. Woohoo! Yay me! But I plan on doing other tutorials. So if you want to like and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. I definitely had fun making this for you guys as well, and hope to get better, which, it takes practice, and it's all a learning experience, and I wouldn't have gotten where I'm at if I wasn't able to watch tutorials from people too. So thank people that do upload tutorials and help us sisters and brothers out to be able to learn from you guys. So we appreciate that. But yeah, I am just finishing threading this through, and then at the end, I sometimes it's hard to get the L wire to go into place, but if you just mess with it and work with it, it will. And then when I thread these last 2 holes, I pull it through at the end, and I'm going to tie a knot in the back so it just stays in place. And I am going to cut off that extra that you see here on the back, where all of that is, kind of ugly, kind of yucky looking. So I just want to make a back piece to be able to cover that up, and then you can put some hanging things on the back to where you can hang it on the wall, or make a stand to where it could sit on a desk, or on top of your kid's dresser, or what have you. And this is pretty easy. You just clip that in there, and then it has like 3 or 4 settings. One is just a solid light without blinking, then it blinks, and I think then it blinks faster. And there's the sign. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how proud I was. When I first turned that on, I was like, yay, me. And now I'm just going to turn the lights out, but that extra bit of L wire right there, I am going to cut off. And, these are perfect for nurseries or your kid's room. I know my kids love night lights, and who doesn't like their own name in a nightlight? I mean, hello. But yeah, so there it is. I love it. And just get practice on your kids, get practice on your family's names before you try it. If it is your first sign, I love that, how it's just blinking. I know my son's gonna love that. And but yeah, just practice on your family, practice on your friends at first, and clip, boop, and then I will turn it back on and show you that yes, it still works after you cut it. Boop, see? So, but again, just practice on a few people's names at first, and you will get the hang of it. Like I said, it's all a learning experience, and you know, but it is fun while we do it. This was definitely fun to make, and you can use a whole bunch of different types of fonts, and even outlines of different objects or logos or anything like that. So, but what do y'all think? Thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. And this is the end. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.